This is a fantastic day for European GAA. It's no surprise that European GAA is expanding every single year. Currently, there are over 100 clubs spread out over 24 countries, and that will get much bigger in the coming years considering how many people are emigrating out of Ireland. Ever since the birth of GAA clubs in Europe, they've always struggled to kind of match the quality of Irish clubs. So we like to keep to ourselves. We'll just have our own competitions, you know, don't worry about it, man. We'll be fine. Let me give you a very brief rundown of how the competition works in Europe. Honestly, it's like a puzzle. I still don't fully understand it. But anyway, in the Benelux region and most of Europe, we play in tournament form. Europe is fucking massive, man. You couldn't have players traveling around every single weekend for one-off matches. It would take up too much time and way too much money. That, and there's only a handful of full-size pitches in Europe. To counter this, teams play in multiple tournaments throughout the year. Depending on how many numbers you have and how many people want to go to these tournaments, you could, in theory, play a tournament like every 2 months. There's so many of them. Here in the Benelux region, we have around 4 or 5 tournaments that happen in a lot of different countries. And in these rounds of tournaments, you earn points. The team that comes first wins the most points. Second, third, fourth win that many points. They get added up after every tournament. So if you had a really bad day at one of these tournaments and you come like last, it's not like the end of the world. If you do much better in the next tournament, you can actually like make up for all that lost points. So it's very exciting. It's never over until the final tournament, which is really good. And that's only one form. There's 9-a-sides, 11-a-sides, 15-a-sides. It's mostly just for fun. You meet up with a lot of Irish people working abroad. You travel around a bit. It's fantastic. Between all of that fun, there's one tournament that Europe takes very, very seriously, if they have the means to do so. This is the Premier 15s. This is the holy grail of GAA outside of Ireland. Because if you become European champions, you have the right to play in the Leinster Club Junior Hurling Championship and Football Championship. It's unbelievable. Whoever has represented their county by playing with their club knows how freaking special that is, man. Most European teams can't field 15 players consistently throughout the year. It's a very hard thing to do considering the amount of traveling, the money, people just moving, people just leaving. It's extremely difficult. Only a couple of clubs are able to maintain big numbers at training and really prepare for the 15s. As most of you know, I moved to a place just outside of Amsterdam in the Netherlands around a year and a half ago. I've been helping that GAA team ever since. From my knowledge, Amsterdam were the top dogs in that tournament. They won it most years. 2 years running, Amsterdam were beaten by a single point in the junior championship. That was in 2022 and 2023. But this year, they had pretty high hopes that they would be able to like possibly win the first match back in Ireland if they could get out of Europe. But our dreams were crushed by Barcelona. Let me put this into context. No European team has ever beaten an Irish club in the Leinster Junior Football Championship and the Junior Hurling Championship. Until now, Barcelona Gales had the historic win over Connacht Shamrocks in Nolan Park. This is a massive deal. Even though they beat us in the European Championship, this really does put a smile on my face. It wasn't just a win, it was a beatdown. The score was 3-11 to 1-5. I have absolutely no idea what the other team was like, if they took it serious or if they didn't, you know what I mean? I don't know what was going on. You have to think about this, right? We don't have facilities like they do in Ireland. We don't have full-size pitches. Most of us have to train on like a normal soccer pitch and mostly AstroTurf at that. You can only imagine how bad like hurling training would be if you had like big numbers on this really small AstroTurf pitch. We don't even have GA posts. We usually have to tie poles around soccer goals to make the posts in GA. And of course, the traveling is insane. I think the GA give a tiny bit of money for winning the European Championship, but it's absolutely nowhere near the cost that the club has to give. Obviously, they have to fly from Barcelona to Dublin, and since they've won, they obviously need to fly back again, so it's going to keep getting more expensive. These people have jobs, you know, they can't just, you know, get up and leave for a few weeks just to play GAA. It's not easy at all. So that's a serious testament to this team, man. I'll say it again, the money they have to fork over is just insane. For me, back home, I traveled 2 minutes to get to my training session by car. Here, if I ever wanted to play, I have to travel 45 to 50 minutes on a bike, and that's the exact same for a lot of people. This is from an article I read by balls.ie. Barcelona Gales journey to Nolan Park for historic Leinster clash. It says most of the players have to pay around €350 out of pocket, and since they won, that's nearly gonna double. So all the odds are against them is basically what I'm trying to say. Fair fucking play to them. I hope they take it one step further and win again next week. I have to give a bit of credit to Amsterdam here. I think they opened the door, only losing out by a single point last year by a last minute penalty. But Barcelona fucking crashed through that door by hammering that team. There's a great clip doing the rounds on Twitter. I'm not 100% sure if I can show it, but it shows the very first point scored by Barcelona in this game. It's incredible football. Great knockdown at the beginning, the fast-paced hand pass, the amazing score. That is how Gaelic football should be played. Now the question is, what are the odds that they win the next game? To be completely honest with you, I don't know. It's really hit or miss, you know. You could get lucky and catch a team on a bad day. The next club they're playing is from Laois, who are just off the back of beating a Dublin club. Now, this is very funny. I went onto their social media and it looks like they're taking the piss out of Barcelona Gales. So to kind of promote the match, they used Barcelona, the soccer team's crest, instead of Barcelona Gales. And then they put the little picture of Yamal on it too. And they called it El Clasico. Now, to a spectator, that's pretty funny. And I get it, you know, it's cool for like a small Irish club to be able to come up against these big enough clubs in Europe. You know, it's a pretty cool occasion, and they're really trying to like get the club hyped. Yeah, we're playing Barcelona, we're playing Amsterdam, whatever. But let me tell you something right now. Unless it's an inside joke, Barcelona Gales will not be taking that lightly. Look, it's only a bit of fun, but for a team who's basically sacrificed their entire year, probably at this stage around €700 of their own money, to travel over to Ireland, you know, leave their loved ones back at home, take time off work, they will not be taking that piss taking lightly, okay? Which could make for a freaking fantastic game, you know. It could go either way, but who knows, it could just be a bit of fun. They might know each other. Who cares? It's just how I see it. So yes, what a historic day for European GAA. Please let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Have a good day. Goodbye.